Victor, welcome. Congratulations, of course, on
Thank
this
you.
recognition for you and Sarah. You grew up in Raleigh.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about growing up here and about what your schools.
Yeah. I went to Wiley Elementary, and I remember that so well. I got to take violin and Chinese, and I took my first photography class. I remember like the very first photograph I took at Wiley, like underneath this jungle gym with a pinhole camera that we made from a cardboard oat container. It opened my mind creatively to a lot of things. I went from Wiley to Ligon, and then from Ligon to Enloe, and I don't know, I just felt like I got really cool opportunities along the way. I remember taking a studio course at Enloe, and it was like an actual recording studio. We were recording bands in the studio, in the school, as a class, and it was like, I don't know, it was just so cool to be able to learn things that weren't just math and science. Like there were a lot of seeds that were planted, and I mean, I use a lot of these things every single day. I do photo shoots every single day. We're editing videos, we're working with musicians. It's cool. I feel like I got a really lucky draw here.
Well, tell us the story of Raleigh Denim Factory, you and Sarah, and sort of this idea and how it all came about.
Yeah, it's a long story. I'll try and give you the short of it. I guess Sarah and I met in high school back in the 1900s, and we've been together ever since. We moved to New York after high school. She went to NYU, and I went to a school in Jersey City, St. Peter's College, and I don't know, got into some photography, got into, well, we're going to edit this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll keep the whole long part that we'll put on the web, but for the program it will be short. But you can expand, and then we can make it.
This part right now.
Yeah.
Right now will not be.
Okay, so the story of Raleigh Denim. We started making jeans in our apartment back in 2006, just as a project. Sarah was still in design school at NC State, and I was coaching a soccer team, and I don't know why, I was into winemaking, and winemaking had this philosophy of craft production, higher quality, lower quantity. I was really into cooking, but I was spending a lot of time up in the mountains, and I met all these people that worked in the denim factories, and I learned a lot about denim and the history and kind of connection to North Carolina. The initial patents for denim production were filed in Greensboro, and so I kind of took this farm to table and winemaking philosophies and kind of applied it to denim, and that we wanted to make a higher quality thing. We wanted to make a better thing. We wanted to make something that we were proud of, that was buy one of these instead of two of something else. We hand signed them, we edition numbered them, and we just wanted to make things in a new and a better way. So we started buying sewing machines, we started making jeans in our apartment, people started buying them. Friend of a friend got us in touch with a guy in New York. All of a sudden we got a meeting with Barney's New York in the fall of 2008. We've never been to a buying meeting, a selling meeting. We never worked for another brand. We honestly didn't know what we were doing, but it was all heart, and it was all honest, and it was and we actually were making a better thing. So the parts about us not knowing what we were doing might have propelled us further than we actually might have needed to go. We might have worked harder than we because we didn't know what the industry standard was.
Sure.
And we were we wanted to be our best, and we wanted our best to be the best. And then we were talking to the best store in the world, and they picked us up.
So from your apartment to a sales to a meeting at Barney.
Yeah.
Pretty fast, though. As a native North Carolinian myself, I love the connection to North Carolina. I did not know about what you just described, the connection about the patent. So how important is the North Carolina connection to you and Sarah, as far as the brand, as far as the product? You're here.
Yeah.
And you're still here. And
Yeah.
you opened the factory here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly important. I think the sense of place was of the utmost importance. We named our company after our city. We named our fits after counties in North Carolina. We named our washes after lakes in North Carolina. Like, this is our home. This is, we love this place. And it was like, we wanted to build from these like historical blocks. So there were like denim factories, there were sewing mills, there were, there was a huge cotton industry. Like, there was like these building blocks of the past that we're kind of like standing on and doing something new with, using those things to create new things for like modern fits, modern details, but pay respect to the past, that pay respect to the history. Incredibly important. I don't even know how to describe. Like, I think what makes what we're doing special is that it comes from us. It comes from from our heads and our hearts and our hands and our place. And in a way, like, it can't be recreated. Like, you could try and copy our gene, but it's like trying to say you're going to try and copy your favorite wine from a winemaker. You could grow the same grape, but it would grow in a different place. It would taste different. And I think that, like, when you walk into our shop in downtown, like, I think it's a sacred place. I think it's a special place where we are creating really special things. Like, to me, the air tastes different in there. Like, the light looks different in there. And I think you can feel that in the product when people see it in other states or on the shelves of other stores. Like, you pick it up and you're like, there's something different about this. And I think it's just that it has a sense of place.
I love that. I love that. Tell me, again, been here for 25 years myself in Raleigh. So where is Raleigh? And like, I mean, you're traveling now. You're Fashion Week. You've been in Paris, Milan, New York, Raleigh. I mean, where is I think of Raleigh as being a creative place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of Durham, but like, where does if people who maybe don't appreciate Raleigh that have just grown up and lived here, what would you say about Raleigh as far as what this about how it sort of fits into what you've sort of seen, whether it's fashion, art, culture?
Yeah, I think there's an incredible opportunity for freedom of thought in Raleigh. And there's enough of a supportive community that's hungry to help entrepreneurs, artists, creatives, new businesses. Like, we want new and interesting things as a community. And so there's this there's a fostering of this creativity that exists. Like, we exist because people supported us in the early years. Like, the story about Barney's is true, but also there were 2 years there where we were having to pay our bills and we were making chair covers at CE Rental, and like, they helped us. And like, there was a lot of things that happened, and I think we've seen that with a lot of restaurants, breweries, coffee. I mean, these like smaller industries where we're like, like bolted bread, like the bread that we get in town, like, didn't exist.
I never made that connection until you just did, thinking about artists and like whether it's bread, wine, coffee. Those all seem to be springing up. And craft beer is such a huge. I think North Carolina is, if not one of the top, maybe it's the top with all the new. So it's an interesting connection to make. I would not have connected that with clothes making, denim, jeans.
Right. But I think it's freedom of thought. So we grew up here and we thought we needed to get out, so we went straight to New York, and that was cool, and we got to like see and learn. And then we realized that like the cost of living, the time, space, energy that it takes to incubate ideas, like, that could happen here. And so we came back, and that's why we came back, and that's why we love it here. We still travel. I think it's really important, especially to the like younger generations that I mentor now. I tell them all to get out, go see it, go taste it, go smell it, go learn, and then come back if you want. But like, you can always come back, and this is like one of the best places in the world. We've been everywhere. we love it.
I tell my daughter, she's in law school right now at Duke, and I'm like, she always wanted to get out of here as fast as she could, but then she keeps staying. She was at Chapel Hill, now Durham. I was like, look, go out. I said, but this is a great place to come back to.
Absolutely.
And if you want to start a family, it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Thinking about what spurred you on, you already mentioned a little bit about that, some of the classes you took early, but how do we, like people in the audience that are going to be watching this, there's going to be teachers, there's going to be parents, how can they foster an entrepreneurial spirit, because that's really, it seems, where the economy is. There's so many opportunities now to make your own way, maybe more so than ever before. How can we help encourage that in the schools, in our homes?
Yeah. It's so hard. I don't know. I want to think about this one for 1 second.
Well, you said you want to be an entrepreneur from when you were 5, so I mean, there's obviously some innate things with you.
Yeah.
I think of things that might help surround.
I think there's something about it's fostering creative thought and then connecting the creative thought with logistics, like what's actually possible, and not cutting off the creative thought by saying it's not possible. Like some of the entrepreneurs that I mentor, I ask them to like not think about the logistics for some amount of time. Like we have to dream, right? We have to think into like what new possibilities could be. Like we're not going to copy exactly something else that's happened. We're going to do something new. So we have to like plant that seed. We have to let the seed grow. We have to encourage the analysis from multiple different angles, and then we start talking about how do we implement this and how do we finance this and how do we grow it and how does it start and what's stage 2 and what stages 3 and 4 and I think connections with other entrepreneurs is incredibly important, like both in like very early stage and then in later stage. I mean, there's so many things that come up. It's really complex. It's hard. It's scary. It can be like, I don't know. It's fun to like I know that like I don't know. There are just so many aspects to it that like you need somebody to call. They're all new. Everything's new. We've been doing this for I don't know 18 years, 16 years, and it's still like I still call my mentors and I'm like, hey, here's an entirely new problem I've never dealt with.
Right.
And
probably come up with some in the last 2.5 years with COVID.
Wow.
How many times, I mean, I don't think I've heard supply chain so many times.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's always something though. And it's always, I mean, I think I look at entrepreneurship as like as design problems, as a Rubik's Cube of like, okay, we need the colors to get to one side, but logically we have to turn it certain ways to get there. I think a design thinking kind of method to business is really interesting. Sometimes I think that the most important thing that we've designed is the business. Like we design products, we design clothing, we design furniture, we design all these different things, but like the way the business moves in the world is a continual design. And I think that design thinking, analyzing problems, how to solve, understanding the different, I don't know, I feel like I'm talking in circles, sorry.
No, that's a great, last question, and it's sort of a couple of let's call them setup softballs. But I want you to tell me someone you meet let's say you met someone on an airplane. And, what's your story like? What is Raleigh Denim Factory? Tell us, use the name of the company, etc. What you are and what you do, and then I want to hear like sort of where you are and what's next. Okay.
What we are. Well, so Raleigh Denim Workshop started as a really focused project to make like the most beautiful pair of jeans, the ideal pair of jeans for us. We wanted to make something that was of our place, that built on the history of denim production in North Carolina, something that was made with heart and hands and heads and like paid respect to the past, but also felt very now. Like we didn't want to recreate the past, we want to make new things. Modern fits, modern detailing. We want to make things of quality, like things that we would be proud of, like selling, putting out into the world, but also that people would be proud to wear and they would tell their friends about. So we were very, very focused on denim, but that's grown. So it was Raleigh Denim. It's now Raleigh Denim Workshop. We design shirts and jackets and shoes and furniture, and we've done architectural things. I'm actually designing costumes for the ballet this year, and it's become this like a much bigger thing, and I think it's been a huge. I think it's been. The opportunities have grown every year. We've worked with companies big and small, but I mean, we helped design things with Patagonia. We went and worked at Pilsner Urquell in the Czech Republic. I think it's just been this like ignition for us of creativity and design that's been really rewarding.
Sounds a little bit like what's next is like, well, we'll see.
Yeah, so what's next is we're gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep growing, and we're gonna keep designing, and there's a lot more that we want to do. This is kind of, it's still it feels like the beginning every day. So we've been doing this for a very long time. I feel like we've done some things really well, but it's still every day I wake up and I'm like, what are we doing now? What's the next? And we're looking. I mean, I want to design uniforms for Major League Baseball and for like the NBA, and like I think we're gonna have some fun with it.
Well, congratulations on everything, well, on this honor course, but we're rooting for you. Raleigh's proud of what y'all are building.
Thank you.
And it's really fun to see, and I love hearing your passion about both your craft, but also about the state and being here and doing that. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
We're
man.
so grateful. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh!